Eurozone leaders have agreed to lend Spain up to $125 billion to rescue its failing banks. Now, the move means that Spain has a firewall in case the Greek election outcome on June 17th unleashes a fresh round of market turmoil. Now, Spain becomes the fourth country in the Eurozone to be bailed out after Greece, Ireland, as well as Portugal. Talk about the U.S. markets, and stocks ended Friday's session with its best weekly gain for the year. Now, the Wall Street rally came on the buzz of Spain seeking bailout for its troubled banks, which happened yesterday. On Friday, the Dow rose a good 93 points. The S&P 500 index was up 11, and the Nasdaq Composite as well shot up a good 27 points. For the week, the Dow advanced 3.6%, the S&P 500 index rose 3.7%, and the Nasdaq jumped a good 4%, the best percentage weekly gain for all three indices since the month of December.
So what's the global picture? Asian markets are reacting to bailout of Spanish banks. Asian markets, by and large, at least the major markets, Hong Kong and Japan, they're trading with upward bias. The dollar index has cracked. It's way below 83. Global volatility has subsided, and one is getting a sense that it's no longer fear which is occupying center stage. Risk on seems to be the new buzzword. Gold is down, crude is up, emerging market equities are also up, which means traders and money managers, they are pulling money out of dollar-denominated assets, US treasuries and US dollar, and they are revisiting risky assets. Now let's get your global perspective with James Glassman, Managing Director of JP Morgan Chase, joins us live from New York. James, do you think ECB has done the right thing by bailing out Spanish banks, or they simply have pushed the can down the road and the time bomb is still ticking?
No, I mean, I think it's the right thing. It shows, the important message is it shows a very strong commitment to keeping the monetary union intact. And I think since many of the fiscal problems that they have and the bank problems are related to the recession, buying time actually helps. If they can get their economies moving, some of these bank problems and fiscal problems go away. So I think the important thing, the fear in the market had been these strains keep building and we keep worrying about the integrity of the monetary union. But I think these actions are telling you that there is a very strong commitment to maintaining this path that Europe was on, continuing down this road of greater integration. And eventually that means that this crisis is going to start to fade. It's doing damage to the economies, and if it's doing damage to Europe, it's harming the Asian region. It's harming anybody who depends on these markets. And the U.S. probably feeling a little bit of this also. So I think it's an important step, and the world is so very interconnected. It's important that they move this forward and get this crisis behind them for the benefit of everybody else.
James, getting closer and closer to the Greek election outcome, what do you think is going to be the outcome there, and do you think, or rather, what is the market pricing in?
I don't know. I mean, I think what the market knows is that, it's a confusing situation because polls tell you that Greek citizens, the large majority of Greek citizens, want to remain within the European Union. And this is really an argument about renegotiating terms of some of the bailout. But I think if the election shows more in the same vein as the last time, the Greeks are going to find themselves on the out, and it would be very difficult, I think, for Greece if it went on its own, and it would be very difficult to get back in. So I personally think that at the end of the day, the Greeks must know that they're better off remaining connected to the euro, within the euro family, and yet we don't know. Electoral outcomes can be uncertain, as the last one was. So this is why I think what the European community is doing, making sure that we understand there's a roadmap should it come to Greece having to leave the euro. I think they're afraid they wouldn't want to see this turning into a broader contagion. So it's important what the Europeans are doing now because it's helping to create a sense that their firewall is getting built up.
Right.
So we'll see. It's going to be an important week and an important weekend ahead.